Hello, my name is Mark Boice with Shiftless, SoCal, California, and welcome to Rides and Wrecks. And this certainly looks like our yard sale wreck, but it's actually, we have it laid out where we can identify which pieces are going to go to clear CAD, powder coat, engine rebuild, or checked out, our gold powder coating, our gold anodizing. You know what? Let's go through a couple key points about taking yours apart and some key elements to remember before you get started and after you're finished. So when you're restoring any project, whether it be a motorcycle, an ATC, ATV, Ford, Chevy, Pontiac, if you're going to do like a numbers matching, something that's really bitching, when you take it apart, you want to identify what color coating it actually had on it. This one here, the carrier was actually in here. So the elements did not get to this portion of the axle. You can see where the elements were, it's all nasty, there's no finish or anything to it. We can actually see that it's gold. Same thing with like the hub here. The hub looks like it's all nasty, it could have been clear coated, could have been natural finish. But if you look on the back side here where the elements didn't get to it, you can clearly see that it was gold erudite, right? A gold zinc color. So we identify every single part. Here's a piece that if you looked at the top of it, you could say, oh, well, you know, that's probably clear CAD. But when you take it out, you can actually see that it's gold color. You know, there's different manufacturers that made all these nuts and bolts and everything. So some items like the nut, maybe one manufacturer did clear, another manufacturer did gold. One of the key elements that you need to remember when you're restoring these bikes is the swing arm. Let's take a close look at it. You could have a hell of a fight just with this swing arm. What happens, this bolt goes in here, goes across a bushing, a bearing, a sleeve, and everything. What happens is, through time, this bolt actually will get bent. And it doesn't take much to bend it where it just gives you a real hassle. Maybe 5 thousandths, and you're gonna fight this bolt out. We actually had to like take some of them, we've actually had to put them on a press and press them actually out. You can see that there's some heavy rust in there. There's a sleeve that goes on there, then the bearing. But this one here was a booger fight. The other one is this carrier. The carrier here, there's some bearings on the inside and outside. I don't recommend actually changing these bearings. You could buy one of these carriers aftermarket that doesn't look the same, but you could spend only maybe $100. By the time you take these bearings out, if they're no good, and the sleeve and clean it and everything, you're going to spend a couple $100 to make it look original just for that surface right there. The other thing is that you really need to identify parts that need to be replaced and order them up. Parts for these bikes, they're hard to come by, some of this stuff. It's just miserable. As you can see here, these bearings are just shot, they're rusty, the races are gone, and everything else. Let's talk about powder coat versus paint. So when it comes to powder coat or paint, number one option should always be powder coat. This frame, if you went and sandblasted it, you primered it, you painted it, you clear coated, you color sand and buffed it, and everything, it's going to cost you thousands. We could send this frame out for a little bit of nothing, maybe $400 or $500 with the pieces and everything. We'll be in at less than $1,000. We could never do that with paint and have the durability as powder coat's going to give us. The other thing too is to remember is items like little springs like this for the brake, for the clutch, for different things, you can't send those out to powder coat or zinc plating. They become brittle, they'll break, you'll be looking for them. I want to thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to our channel for some really cool tips, tricks, and other. And we'll be ATCing you soon as we get this restored.